Hello and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I'm with Incorta, your no limits data delivery platform, which enables endless possibilities. I'm Brian Boxman, as I mentioned, and that I'm with Incorta, responsible for sales. I have the pleasure of speaking with Amin Venjara, Chief Data Officer at ADP. The one thing that I would ask is, how are you using AI in the organization to try to achieve these aspirational goals of minimization, as well as the golden record?
I know conversation is complete these days without having that AI topic come in. So it's great. I'm glad you raised it.
We had to weave it in. We had
to get it there. So let me start with one thing before I just hit on the AI, which is, look, I think the AI conversations, obviously it's been heavily discussed internally, externally. We're always thinking about what that means, with the new capability. But there's one step I always like to take before this, which is this is like the latest tool in the toolbox, right? And we've had these kind of revolutionary moments. Obviously, it does feel like, I'd certainly say we feel internally, we're very bullish about what's possible with AI. But we've seen revolutionary moments before, right? Like we had the PC come, we had the internet, we had mobile phones, right? Like we've had things that have been transformational in the way that work happens. And this is kind of just another one of those. And so one of the things that, we'd like to just focus on and kind of driving this process, like what outcome are you trying to achieve? Because you're right. Like it's not like we as an industry have not been talking about golden data records or golden data, sets or data minimization. It's been around for a while. And are you going to be able to get 100% coverage across all of your data? No. But what you're going to be able to do is focus in on the outcomes you want to achieve. And then the data that's needed to make that happen gets really, really good. Because then it's that like use case focused way of making it happen. So that's really the approach that we've taken. Trying to really get good organizational clarity on what are these use cases that we can drive. So let me give some examples that actually tie back to the AI thing. We think about it in a few big buckets of where we drive the value. The first is around, how we can reimagine the product that we provide to our customers and our clients, right? What can we do with AI to really reimagine that? And then also, how can we improve our internal operations, leveraging AI to be able to make those better? Because it's an important part of the service process that we have and being able to make our associates more productive and effective. So let me take each of those. So the first one on the reimagining the product, we've launched a capability in almost 15 months or so in market now called ADP Assist. And ADP Assist is this kind of one umbrella of how we bring these AI capabilities, and think about it as this assist that sits with you throughout your workflow, whatever you're trying to do in the system, and knows what you're trying to do. It can be proactive, it can nudge you, it can be cross domain in what you're trying to get done in payroll, HR, or talent or benefits, and it also draws on the knowledge of what customers like you are trying, have been doing as well to be able to help you. So all of those pieces now come together as part of ADP Assist. And, when we're delivering this value, we think about specific use cases. So I gave you one like payroll anomalies. As we were working on this, we identified a number of these. We looked at the data of where errors were occurring for our clients. Where are payrolls getting dropped out? What are the drivers? How can we proactively notify our clients via ADP Assist so they can take action before the issue happens, so they can have the right data in place that they may be collecting from their organization, like the tax ID example, right? I'm paying somebody, and they're working in a new location and I didn't set up the tax location. So now this might lead to me to get something from the IRS because I haven't set something up right. And so that's scary, especially for small clients. Doing those kinds of things are the kinds of things that can drive value for customers. So that's been powerful, giving those nudges, giving those insights, and doing it in the flow of work. And we could probably double click on that because so much of what's needed, I know everybody's out there trying to build an assist. And how do you leverage the data, but do something that that you can marshal the organization around and have a way to make that safe and responsible while still providing value, right? Is a big focus. On the internal side, there's a lot of areas where AI can be leveraged for us that we've already started to see really good value. The first is in our contact center. So we have service centers, being able to give them the ability. They're taking calls, chats, emails, all kinds of modes of interaction. And we found one simple area we could do is on the calls. A lot of time that people would spend would be summarizing the notes after a call. Well, we were able to just deploy that capability, and we're already seeing like shaving nearly a minute off of calls. And by that might not seem like a long amount of time, but you add that up over millions and millions of calls that we have and contacts coming in because of all the customers we have, that adds up to, value, and it adds up to an ability of just a better associate client experience because we can really track what's going on. Another good example is just in our own development processes, right? We found that leveraging AI capabilities in the way we develop software, and obviously, there's these capabilities and platforms to make coding more efficient. But let's go beyond that. Like there's actually, really good capabilities now that allow for thinking about testing and developing unit test cases to make it more effective. And also seeing that when you have a release, what pieces of software, like you released and changed these lines of code, are the tests that you ran consistent with those lines of code, right? Or did you also run tests that on areas that you didn't even change? So like, why bother, right? Because you didn't change it. And so AI is helping us to do all of that as well and just be more efficient in the way that we ensure the quality of the software we're releasing.
That makes great sense. And I'll just provide a graphic here that you mentioned, kind of Swiss Army knife for changes. And I think I keep this on my desk, and this is a tool that it's kind of a Swiss Army knife. There's a hammer, there's a scalpel, there's many different tools there. And we think of AI like that, in our environment as well. Sometimes you could hammer the use case. It's a no-brainer, and that you can use it internal to make essentially your product better. And then sometimes it's a little bit more precise with the scalpel where, there's a market opportunity that your customers are asking for. A good example for us is that, we at times help our customers. They want to ask really, really difficult questions of their data, right? And they want to have a very strong co-pilot experience. Thank you for sharing and taking the time today. I very much appreciate it. It was great to meet you and wish you wonderful success.
You too, Ryan.
Thank you.